Welcome. In this training, I'll be showing you how to design an automated cash book in Excel. A cash book is a book where you record all transactions that is cash related. Or better put, a cash book is a book where you record all transactions that affects your cash balance and your bank balance. Right. So if that transaction affects your cash balance and affects your bank balance, yeah, meaning that it either increases your cash balance or reduces your cash balance, or it increases your bank balance or reduces your bank balance, then you are supposed to record it in a cash book, right? And that is what we'll be designing in Excel today. I'll be showing you how you design an automated cash book in Excel. But before we go in, I have a premium template which I call the cash book manager or the bank reconciliation manager. That template helps you record all cash transaction as it relates to the different bank accounts you keep in your business, and also helps you perform your monthly bank reconciliation. It also helps you generate your report on a monthly basis and even on a yearly basis, right? So I'll be dropping the link to that template in the description section. You can get it, you get the details of how to get that template, right? So in this training, we'll be focusing on how to design a simple and an automated cash book in Excel. But before then, let's look at what we'll be designing before we go into design that. So go here. Here we have an already designed cash book in Excel. So we have in this section, we have the section where you capture your daily cash transaction. Daily cash transaction. So any transaction that affects your cash book or your bank will be recorded here on a daily basis. So you have your transaction date column, the supplier and the customer name column, the transaction type, the product code, the quantity, unit price, amount, and account. This account is the list of bank your business have and the cash in hand. Right. So you have all these details, and mind you, this is an Excel table. This section has already been um, placed in an Excel table, meaning that when you select any cell, the table design option is activated, showing that we've already imputed this particular section in an Excel table. And why? An Excel table updates your reports immediately. As you keep imputing transaction here, the report we have here automatically updates and generate. That's one of the benefits, and I love using it. So you have your cash book daily reports here. Here we designed our daily reports where we have the year, the bank, and the date. For the bank, we have a drop-down list where you select the different bank as it relates to your business. And here you just input your date. Based on the date you input here, you see the daily report for that month. This is May, right? The fifth month of the year, May. So you see from the 1st of May down to the 31st of May. So if I impute for January, notice we have from the 1st of January down to the 31st of January. So for the month you impute here, it gives you the daily report of that month from the 1st of that month to the last day of that month, and it's automatically generates. So for each of the bank accounts you want to generate the report, you just select it. This is UBN. You can see we made a cash sales of 52,000. Then there is no cash purchases, there is no cash expenses. So only on the 12th of January we made a cash sales based on our data on this in this section. Based on the data we have in this section, this report automatically generates. So as you keep inputting data, here will be updated. So you see our cash sales, our cash purchases, and our cash expenses. And this report is based on this bank account and the date you selected. So on this cash sales performance, here we have placed a formula that helps us to know if we are above our target or below our target. For the purpose of this training, our target is on a daily basis, we want to make a sales that is beyond 50,000. So if we exceed the target, immediately to write above target, you can see, and it's uh, the font color is green. So, but if we have not exceeded that 50,000 target, it will just display below target with a yellow font color, right? So this is more like a performance check for us on a daily basis to know if we have hit the target or below the target. So you can see on this date well, we are quite above target. So this will help you to monitor your performance, right? So that is for the daily report. Here we also have for the monthly report. It's the same as the daily, but here it's on a monthly basis. So if you select your bank account, here we also have it a drop down list where you can select your bank. Then you can input your dates. You can just input the first date of that month and of the year. So it will generate from January to December of that year you selected. So what we are more interested here is our monthly report, and all you need to do is just input the year. 2020, it will give you from January 2020 down to December. So if I change this to 2020, watch what happens. You can see we have from January 2020 right to December 2020, and you can see we have cash sales of 17,000 in October 2020, right? With under the UBA account, right? So I'll take it back to 2021. Good. So we have it. So this is what I'll be showing you how to design in this training today. So let's just go in and let's get started. So I'll open a new sheet. Good. So we have our new sheet here. So all I'll do is just to copy all we have here. First of all, let's just copy this first. Just copy it and paste it here. So I'll just paste it as values. I don't want all the formatting there. So we'll just paste it as values. So we are good to go. All you need to do now is just to make this bold. Right, I can just make it bold, and mind you, this is date. So because it's date, I will now give it a date formatting, just a short date formatting. Good. So we now have this. Okay, this is okay. I'll just give this a number formatting, make it comma. Good. And 2 decimal, which is okay. So we can increase this our date, so we have it this way. Good. So I can just so make it look visible for everyone to see, so we can increase this. Okay, can wrap it. It's already, yeah. You can also increase this. Good. So this will increase this. So we have our data ready. We have our data ready. And mind you, this is an Excel table, so I'll just input it. You can just click on insert and put it in the table, and it will just select the range. If this is the range you want, and I'll tell you that my table has header, so I want this row 4 to be the header. So you check this, and okay, good. So you see our data is in a table now, but I don't like this style. So you just immediately the table design pops up. So I'll change the style to something very light, and that I think this is okay. It represents what we have in the one we just worked on. I'll just change this. I'll change it to, first of all, I'll give it a border, all borders. Good. Then I'll give it a different color, front color of black. Yeah, this is okay. Then I don't want the filter. You see this filter? I don't want it, so I won't check it. Good. So you see we are good to go. We are done with this. So I'll just now I'll make this. Okay, let's look at what we have here, we merge this from this point to this point. So I'll merge this from this point to this point. You merge and center. I also merge this from this point to this point. You merge and center. I just want to replicate what we have here. So I can just select this and copy. When you copy, you paste it. Right. So just paste the value. I guess so. That was why I wanted to merge it. Let me just copy it one after the other. Copy, then I'll just paste here, paste it in the formula bar so that it will give me all that stuff. So same thing here, I'll just copy this, then and I'll paste it here. Good. I think this we're good to go. We are good to go. Good. Make it center and oh, I need to increase this. So I'll merge and I'll merge again. Good. So it's from B to H, B to H. So I'll just make it bold, increase it to 14, make this bold and increase it to 12. This good. So we have our database ready. Right, we have our database ready. This is already in an Excel table. So the next thing is to also, let me just copy the daily report section so that we'll have it ready. So we'll just have this. I'll copy from this point down to this point. Good. We'll just copy and paste the, so we're starting from row 3 of that. Row 3, then paste as values. Good. So it's okay. Okay with this. So from this point, we'll merge J to N. These are all merged. So we'll just merge it and center it. Merge J to N and center it. Good. We'll merge and center. We'll merge and center. Good. So here we have our daily. Good, good, good. So this is dates. This is date, and this is date too, but we're going to still format this. Let me leave it. So we'll have to format this. So this section is dates. From here to this point is dates. So you format it as a date, short dates. So I believe we're following. Just follow me closely, and you get to understand what we're doing. So it's the performance. So we'll make this. So you just will wrap that. You can also wrap this. Good. You can also wrap this. Click wrap. You can, yeah, this is okay. This is okay. So we have this. You can give it a light green fill color. Light green. Good. So the same thing with here. I think that's the color we're using, light green, so that it can be uniform. Then you put borders. I need to make borders, all borders. Good. So here we format it to comma separated with 2 decimal. Good. So we have this. I can make this bold. Remember, we have a few color that is yellow in color. This is it. So I can now shift this and this to, I'll make it center, and I give it that same fill color because I'll shift this, align it, shift the alignment, then this to make it a fill color of kind of orange. Good. So this is, we're good to go here. I'll put borders here too. Right, so I'll just go to this sketchbook and copy this headings, copy this heading, and I'll paste it right here. So I'll just paste it on the formula bar because it's a merge cell. That's why I'm having that error. So the best thing is when I select, I just copy from my formula bar. Then I also paste on my formula bar. That's how I work around that so that I won't get that error. Good. So I'll click on bold and I'll click on now bold it, right? So I think we are done with this section. Okay, we'll just make it, give it all borders. Good, good, good. So we're done with the cash book daily report section. Mind you, we've not yet imputed any formula. We're just putting in the data, right? So let's also copy the monthly report before we start automating the process. So from this point, we just copy and we'll paste. Good. So we're pasting from this point and paste it as values. Good. So we can now make the necessary editing. So this is our month and we can just put our dates here, not minding that yes, we'll still have to format all this. We'll still have to format it. We'll wrap the first, we'll wrap this. Let me increase it a bit so that we can have better display. Then you wrap this too and increase it. Good. So we're good to go. We're good to go. This is the month, and mind you, these are all, we'll put it in, make it border. So from this point, you put your comma separated to format the numbers. And here we have our dates. Format it as short dates and give it a fill color of this. Same thing with this and same thing with this. So here you increase the alignments. Here we increase the alignment too. So we can give it our all borders and we merge from this point to this point, merge and center. We merge from this point to this point, merge and center. Remember, you put your border, we'll put our borders, and we can now go copy the headings for the monthly. Remember, I say I'll copy it from the formula bar, then I'll paste it there. Control V. Good. So the same thing we'll do for the second heading. Copy and paste. All right. So good. We're good to go. So we have our data just as we have it here. We have it all here. So the next thing we need to do is to impute our formulas. As you can see, all we have here is just raw data. It's not automated. So we need to now start working on automating this. Right. So we have our database in an Excel table. You can see it's showing that this is an Excel table, right? So we have our transaction dates, supplier stroke customer name, transaction type, product code, quantity, unit price, amount, and bank. So the first thing we'll be doing is to input our data validation. We have our bank, which is UBA. So there is a drop down here. So you select this drop down, you go to your data tab. Under the data tools, you click on this and select data validation. So we have allow lists, lists, we want lists. So we have how many banks? We have UBA, Zenith, and Cash in Hand. So you just type in UBA, comma, Zenith, comma, then Cash in Hand. Cash in hand, and we're good to go. So you have your UBA Zenith cash in hand. So not to repeat it, I'll just copy I'll copy this and I'll now paste it here. So you don't just click any paste, you go to your paste option and you click on paste special. I want to paste validation and I'll say okay. So immediately it pastes all the validation I have here. So I have my UBA Zenith cash in hand. So that's all for that. So the next thing we're going to be doing is to impute a formula here. And the formula is this. When we impute a date here, we just want the year to show here. All right. So you just put equals to year. I just want the year of this date to show. So 2021. So if I input here 2020, watch what happens. Wow. So I have 2020. So our formula we go to go. Right. So 2020, 2021. Let me just make it center and we're good to go. Right. So this two, we can center it. All right. So we have our bank. So this is okay. The same thing here. Let's put year, the year of this date, and we're good to go. You can now center this and you can center this. Good. And also center this. Good. So we are done with this area. So the next thing now to do is okay, I'm here to let's give this a fill color and give it good and make it bold. Right? Good. So I think we all have the same. Okay, the fill here is quite different. Let me give it the same shade. The same shade, I think is that's good. So we now have it all same. So now the next thing we need to do now is to impute the formulas so that immediately we select a month here, it will give us from the first day of that month to the last day. As you can see here, look at this here. So you see that for January, because we input 20th January, it's giving us from the first day of January to the last day of January. So it's giving us from the first day of January to the last day of what? Of January. So I'll be looking at, we'll be inputting that formula. So you just work with me closely. So the formula I'll start with, if this row, the first row, we are using row, if this, sorry, this row, if this row 1 is greater than this day of this dates, this is the dates, make it absolute, months of these dates, make it absolute, then plus 1, right? And 0, right? If it is, you just put this. But if it is not, give me the dates, the year of this dates, the month, sorry, then the month of this dates, make it absolute, and then the day, but we're going to be using the row functions for the day, and that's just use this. Good. And we can now close the bracket, right, and close it. So I think we're good to go. We're good to go now. Okay. 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 So we have it. You've entered too many arguments. Oh, so let's see. So we have if this. Oh, no, no, no. If this is greater than this date, think I'm missing something here. If this is greater than this date, okay, we're supposed to close the bracket. Yeah, this is a logical fix. Yes, yes. Good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got it. So if you know you can't go through the formulas, you can just, I'll make provision. I'll put the link for the template, the already completed one, for you to download. Right. So if you cannot go through this formula thing, you can just download it and use it straight ahead. So I'm taking you through this training for those that will want to see how this was designed. So after imputing this formula, we've gotten it, we're able to fix the, I think I didn't put in the, close the first logical test. That was why it was popping up that error. So immediately I just fill down and down, right down. So you see from the 1st to the 31st of January 2020. So let's say if we put uh, February, see what happens. So we have 1st to the 29th of February 2020, because in 2020 February ends on the 29th day. So let's say 2021, here we have 28 days. Good. So we now have 28th of February 2021, which is the last day. So you see here it's already automated. We've gotten this. Good. So now we'll have to input formula for cash sales, cash purchases, cash expenses, and also a formula that will help us to check our cash sales performance, right? So for the cash sales, let's put formula. I'll be using the sum ifs, and what is our sum range? This is a sum range we want to use, right? That's the column we want to sum. The first criteria is this. I have a lot of criteria to test. The bank, it has to check this bank. It has to be this bank, and we've gotten that as our criteria. Then what's our second criteria range? Our second criteria range should be, let me see, table 2. We have two tables, so table 2. Then we have our transaction type should be the second criteria range. So transaction type. So what is our criteria? The criteria is sales. So we're looking at sales, right? So then what's the next criteria we want to test? We've looked at bank, we've looked at the type, then we look at date, transaction date. So the table 2, we're looking at table 2, and we want to look at transaction date, and what is our criteria? It has to be um, this is the column, and we're looking at J5, J5, J5. Right. So I'll just make it absolute, just the column. Good. So we go, good to go, Let's go back to that. Okay. I want to make the column absolute. So the dollar sign will be in front of the column. So the column is absolute while the row is relative, right? So I think that's it for it. So after I'm done, I'll just drag the formula downwards. Good, to the last, so there. Good, so you can see immediately it updates on the 14th of February 2021. We made a cash sale of 21,364.0 through UBA. So you can see. So 14th of February. So you see that we have sales on the 21 too, but for UBA, because we selected UBA here, so on that 14th we made the sales of what? 21 364. So if you go, if we select cash in hand, immediately you see the one we made on the 21. So you can see it's quite automated, right? Right. So let's move ahead. We are getting there. So I will just do what? I'll just copy this formula. I'll copy it, right? I'll copy it and I'll paste here and I'll change one or two things. So just to make it easy. So the only thing I'm changing here will be the instead of me having sales, I'll have purchases. Purchases is the same formula, but here I just want the purchases, right? So I'll have it. Oh, my formula is not correct. Okay, just let me just delete this. Delete it. Okay, so I will just copy this, then go here and paste it. Good. So instead of having sales here, I'll have purchases. Purchases. All right. And that's just the difference with the cash sales report and cash purchases report. And here we go. Just fill it downwards. Good. So we're good to go. So let's check other bank accounts. Maybe we have Zenith. Do we have any? No. Let's see, cash in hand, any expense, no expense. So we don't have any expense in the month of February. So let's look at the month we have expenses. Purchases, sorry, purchases. So we have January. Okay, let's do for January so that you can see the effect of this formula we just imputed. All right. So good. So you see on the 8th of January, 41,628. On the 8th of January, purchases 41,628, cash in hand. Good. So you can see our formula is good to go. So the same thing, just copy this, right? Copy it and go here, then paste it here. I'll just Control V now. Instead of purchases, you just change here to expenses because this column we want to get all the expenses, right? And we're good to go. You just fill down, select and fill the formula down. I've already designed the formula in a way that I can fill it downwards. So you can see, so we have cash expenses, and let's see what month do we have expenses. We have in April, cash in hand, May. So let's see, April, good. You can see 15th of April 24/7. So you can see our formula is good to go. So the next thing now we have to do is to put in our performance indicator, meaning that if we make a sales that is greater than 50,000, give us above target, but if it is less than, give us below target. So we put equals to, if this cash sales is greater than 50,000, just put above target, right? But if it is not, then below target, right? So we can now close. Good. So you see, I will just fill down. All right. So where did we make sales above? If okay, on the 12th of January. Yes. Let's look at, just put January to give us the days. So we made sales of 50 something UBA. So select UBA. So you see we have above target. So for us to see it very well, so you just put a conditional formatting rule to show that when it's above, it should have a font of green, while when it's below, it should have a font of red. So you go to your home under stars formatting, conditional formatting. So we'll just let me use the new rules. So I'll just say format cell that contain text specific, sorry, specific text. And what's the text? Above target, above target. So give me a formatting, a font formatting of green. Let me put a very light green. I think this is okay. That is okay. So I can see a preview of it and you can see the green. So I'll also impute another rule, formatting rule, and I'll say format cells that contain specific cells, and this will be below targets, below target, and I want the color to be red, or red, showing that I've not met to the target for that day. Good. So you can see. So if I exceed the target, above target, so it pops up green. If I've not reached the target for that day, the sales target for that day, it gives you below target, right? So we are done with the daily cash report, the daily cash book report. So let's go to the monthly cash book report. First of all, we have our date, our bank, and the year. So what we want is to design this in a format where we'll have the month from January to December based on the date, that's the year of this date, right? We have 2021 here. So first of all, you just put equals to, I'll use the date format, the date formula, the date. So this year, the year of this date, and I'll make it absolute, right? Then the month will be, I'll use the row function. I'll use the row, then the days, all first day of the month. Good. Then we can close this and here we go. Good. So I can now fill this downwards. Good. So we have from 1st to 12th. So what I want is just to format it to show me January 2021, February 2021. So select it. After you select it, you go to your number section of the home tab and click on number formats so that you can go to your custom dates, and I want to use a date of month and year. Month and year, I believe I have that in here. So I have that here. I have that in here so you can see. So if you don't have it, just impute this 3M, or let me just put 1 2 3, give a space, put hyphen, give a space, and 1 2 3 4, right? That's just it. So when you're done, you just put okay. So you can see you have January 2021, February 2021, and right through to December 2021. You can see from January to December we have our dates automated. So the next thing we need to do is to get our monthly sales transaction, cash sales transaction, monthly cash purchases, and monthly cash expenses. Then we now input our key performance indicator. All right. So now let's go using the Sumifs. I believe we're following, right? Okay. So what's our sum range? Our sum range is this particular range. And what's the first criteria? The first criteria, I want to text the account, the criteria, the account, and it has to be this cell. So based on the account we select here, I'll make it absolute. Then the second, we want to taste the transaction type. So I'll just put table 2 and transaction type. So transaction type, then it has to be cash sales. So we'll just put sales. All right. So the next criteria range we want to test, we've tested our accounts, we've tested transaction type, so we have our date. Date is the next thing now. So we have table 2, then the date, transaction date. And we want, what is the criteria? Criteria has to be greater than or equal to, all right? That's be greater than or equal to this date in P5. That's the date here, P5, greater than or equal to P5. All right. So I'll just make it P5. All right. That's it. So the next criteria will still be our dates, transaction dates. All right. And the criteria is less than or equal to the date function. Date function, we have our year, this particular P5, right? P5. Then we have, I can make this capital, then you now make it the column to be absolute. The column, okay, let's leave it at relative. Let's really leave it at relative for now. Then we have our months. Our months, that's P5, P5, right? Now we'll add +1, right? We want to get the end of the month, +1 to it. So then our day is 0. So we want to get the end of the month of that. So it has to be less than or equal to the last day of that month. That's why we're using this. So we can now close the brackets because we are done. Can now close the bracket. Good. And we're good to go. So we have our formulas. You can now fill it downwards. Can fill it downwards. Good. So we have this. We're good to go. So now you looking at the formula, you see we have our sum ifs and we have different criteria and criteria range, more than one criteria we are testing. So what I'll do is we have January cash sales for January 52,000 for this year 2021. So if you look at it, you see it's for January 52. So we don't have any other sales. So our formula is good to go, right? So what I'll do, just as I did in this section, I'll just copy and like tweak the formula a bit, and that's all. So all you need to do, I just copy this formula, then you come to this cell, I'll paste it here. Good. So instead of having sales here, just put purchases, right? So every other thing is okay. Every other thing is, you're good to go. So you can just enter. Good. And you fill downwards. You fill downwards, right? So I'll still copy this formula, and under the expenses, I'll paste it. In the formula bar. Then instead of having purchases here, you can now put expenses. Expenses, right? So after you input that, you can use the fill handle and fill downwards. Good. So you can see for UBA in this month, let's see, January we have this, so we've looked at it. February, so let's look at June and let's see UBA June. So let's look at our daily sales and see if it's the same. June is 6th, right? Good. So wow, so you can see all the expenses we made in June 28,188, which is June 28,188. So our formula will go to go. So let me say I put in 2020, yeah, 2020. So on 20 October, we just made a cash sales of 17,000. So if I put in here October 2020, let's see. So you will see for yourself. October, just October is 10th. All right. Good. So you can see 12th of October we made. So you can see that our formula, we are good to go. So what's remaining now is for us to put in our performance, and our ceiling is on a monthly basis. Want to make a cash sales of 500,000. This is just for the training purpose, based on your organization or your business. You may have your monthly target, your daily target. This is just for illustration purpose. So I'll just input the if function. If this sales is greater than 500,000, if it is greater, then you just say above target, right? Then if it is not, just say below targets, below targets. Good. Right. So you can now close the bracket. Now you're good to go. So I can just fill downwards, and here we go. Good. So we have our data. So which of them one do we? Okay, we didn't reach. There's no based on our database. There's no month we've exceeded or we've even meet the target. So we'll just impute that same conditional formatting as we did here. So you just select the range and you go to your conditional formatting under styles. Then you just click on the new row and format cells that contain value, a specific text. And what's the text? Above targets, above targets, targets. So what formatting should I give it? Give it a font color of green. I think it's green. It's okay. And okay. So if it's below target, you give it another row and contain specific text. See below target, right? Below target, and a formatting, font formatting of red, like red, so that you can see it and know that you've not reached the target. So we have it. Good. So all we have is below target from January to December. Even 2021, I'm not sure if we made that based on our data. So they are all below target. So this is how you go about designing an automated cash book in Excel. I believe we all got this process right. So, but if you know you can't go through this formula, you can just download. I'll make available the template in the description section of this video. You can go ahead and download it. If you want more features, as I stated earlier, there is a premium template which I call the cash book manager or the bank reconciliation manager. You can also see details on in the description section of this video. So do well to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more value tips, and don't forget to share this video to as many that you know that will benefit from this training. Thanks for staying true, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye for now.